Hello friends, this is Nima. I'm doing a voiceover on this video because yesterday I uploaded the video to capture the eye and the beak, and then for some reason came without audio. So I'm doing voiceover on some of the important parts. After that, there will be I already uploaded the section of the rest of the body of the bird. I'm using black for the eye, and I'm rolling this in a shape and like a rounded, like if you're doing like a little donut in there, and trying to do it like a rounded shape. And I'm gonna put it where I have the pin. I put the pin in there just to mark the right position. And with the yellow needle, that is the finest one, I'm gonna poke this eye on the position. Right now it looks really big, but as I'm keeping doing the knitting in there, it's gonna get the shape. Now this pink cover that I'm using in there is because right now I'm gonna be poking really close to the to my fingers, and this is going to protect your fingers, right? It's a good idea to use it, and actually I don't use it that often. I always remember after I poke my fingers. So we're going to continue working in there on the eye, poking around just to give it the shape. Work around, don't poke on the same place, just keep working around the eye and make sure that it has the right shape. Um, there's other details that we're gonna include in here that are gonna make the eye looks a lot better. And I'm just gonna poke around until I get the right shape. I'm gonna speed up the video at least until we get to the part of the details for the eyes and then the beak in there. But one thing that I want to cover before that is that you need to make sure that you have the right proportions. So what I'm doing right now is measuring the location of my eye, and as I poke the wool, I can move that location. I can poke more on one side to the other or poke sideways, so I can push the eye to one place or the other. And in this portion in here, I'm showing you that highlight that it has around the eye, that white highlight. And that's very important because the birds, they have this um, liner around the white part. And we're going to cover that once we have the right shape on the eye. Keep working with that needle, but if you think you need a stronger needle, you can use other um, needles that they are like thicker than that one. The yellow needle is the thinner one, normally used for details. I like to use it all the time. Um, you can work faster probably using a different type of needle. But with this needle, you can work little details like the white part that I'm gonna add in here now. I'm rolling like a little piece of wool, and I'm gonna work this around the eye. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, but it goes from the middle to the back. So I'm gonna start right on that position. It's gonna have a little more on the back of the eye. So I'm starting from the middle to the right, and I'm gonna roll that around, and I'm gonna leave more on the bottom and the back than on the top, but I'm gonna go around the top as well. Now, sometimes it's better to work with extra wool, and then once you have the area that you want that is already covered, you can either poke that until you bury that extra wool. But if you have a lot of that and it's too much to poke it and bury that portion, you can always get your scissors and then chop that part. Another option will be to fold it back and needle over the portion that you already have. But when we do that, we might be adding extra, um, it will be an extra highlight on that part. So for me, what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna see me doing in there, is that I'm gonna grab the scissors and then I'm gonna chop. I'm gonna clip the excess, and once you clip the excess, then you have to go back with the needle. So that little portion that you can see in there is hidden, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm folding it in, and then I'm knitting that so it's not poking out, and it's not something that you can pull out. Right? So the eye is looking like a little more defined in there, and we need to add also the highlights. The highlights are very important because they're gonna give it like um, life to the eye. And I'm cutting a very, very small piece, and I pull that with my finger, but then I need to roll that into a small bowl. And sometimes my fingers are really dry, so I use beeswax just to make it easier to create a very small ball in there. But if it's too big, like that one looks really, really big, don't worry, because you're just gonna poke that in the same position, like pulling the same, pulling the needle out and back in until you get that to get like the right size, the size that you needed, right? And like I say, you just poke that into the same position, bring it in until you see that you get the right size in there, right? So there's a lot of reflections on this bird eye. I'm only gonna put three of them, but if you look closer at the picture, um, there's a lot of other reflections. Now the one on the top is more like a line than a circle, and that's the one that I'm adding now. And I'm gonna add another one on the bottom to help with the definition of the shape of the eye. And same thing, you're just gonna poke those in position until they get buried inside of the eye, and you only show the part that you want them to see. At any time, you can add more black, or actually you can even pull them out. There is a needle that help you to pull things out, and you can use that to remove the wool. But if it's something small, you can just add a little more black in there. Now, it has like two in there and it looks a little awkward, so I'm gonna add a small, very, very small one on the bottom just to again help with the shape of the eye. If you need to move anything, you can always use a larger needle like I did in there. In that case, I use it to push the position of the highlight, and it's it's a needle that is thicker than the yellow one, so it's gonna help moving faster the wool. But then once I use that, I like to use the yellow one just to make sure that the holes are not too big. Because this needle, the red needle, it's larger and it will leave larger holes. The yellow one is a fine needle. It's perfect for details. We're gonna work on the beak. I'm gonna start with the black on the bottom, um, and I'm gonna start with a piece of wool, starting on the face and then extending out. And I'm trying to define the shape. The shape is something that we can fix later on. Sometimes I need to go back and fix certain things. And I'm working from bottom up. Now on the top, I have a highlight. And I didn't show it in this video, but there is a yellow little piece of on the top of the beak, on the bottom. And I'm gonna add that part later on. I just wanted to show you at least the have an idea, give you an idea how to work with the beak. There's many other details that we're gonna be adding to this bird as I keep knitting and adding some other things. I just wanted to make this quick video to show you um, how to add the eye, especially the eye and the highlights in the eye. Now the beak has also some highlights on top, and you can use a lighter gray or even white to add that highlight in there. And at the same time, the shape, it can be fixed with the needles, pushing it down, up a little bit. You'll see me that I'm gonna add a little more color in here because I went too much with the gray. And then at the same time, the color is um, too dark. So I'm adding changing the shape, and I'm also adding another layer to mute a little bit the black on the beak. You can always mix the wool to create different colors, right? You can have just like in this case in here, I had the gray, but and the black, but I didn't have anything in between, so I mixed those two to create a lighter, not as intense a black, but not as lighter as the gray. And I am going over the beak and just to make it a little more muted. I'm gonna be working on this beak in here, adding some extra colors. Again, I just wanted to leave you with the eye that is very important and the beak, and later on I'm going to add that little piece of orange in there. There's also some other details, like a little bit of black that you see on the top, and I will be adding those in there. You already know how to add this. I need to work on the shape a little bit, but I'm gonna continue poking in here and making it better. And the next one, when you'll see this already completed, right? See you. Bye.